Hello. So today I'm going to start another chapter, that is light. Light is in class 10th. It has got two parts, that is the reflection and refraction. So in this chapter this video we are going to study only and only about reflection. So that is reflection. So before starting reflection or refraction or whatever other events, we must know what is light. Okay. So what is light? Light is light is an electromagnetic Light is a form of electromagnetic radiation. Now, what are electromagnetic radiation? These are those type of radiation which does not require any medium for their transmission. ठीक है, उसको कोई हवा पानी या कोई और टाइप की चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती है. These type of radiations can pass even in the space, even in the vacuum. Okay, so they do not require any medium for their transmission. That type of radiations are called electromagnetic. So light is electromagnetic, and that is why you'll see that light can easily come from that is space, or that is from several क्या कहते हैं kilometers distance in the space, and then it enters into our atmosphere. So it does not require any medium. So very first thing you must know that light is a radiation. It is very clear. Light is a radiation. It is very clear. But then what type of radiation? These are electromagnetic radiations. Okay, then it can be divisible into three parts. The light can be divisible into three parts. That is, the light in which we can see is called visible light. You can see me and I can see you, and we can watch TV and all other type of things around us. That is visible light. Okay, if this light is not there, we'll not be able to see. The other two type of lights are there in which we cannot see, but they are having some type of radiations. So that is how we divide them into three. That is the ultraviolet radiation. They are having very high energy radiations, and we cannot see in this. Okay, and second is visible, which makes us see various type of things. And the third is infrared having a energy level is less, and it is only for heating. So where any hot object is always releasing infrared radiations. Okay, so the visible light is the light which is having a wavelength of 400 to 700 nanometers. Now these light also a particular range of wavelength. Now the wavelength between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer is called visible light. And visible light, whenever falling into any object and it is reflecting, entering in our eyes, then we are able to see the things. Okay, the next is the ultraviolet radiation, having a wavelength shorter than 400 nanometer. And इनकी wavelength इतनी कम है, that is wavelength is less, that means the distance between the wave will reduce, that means the frequency will increase. If the frequency increases, then the energy increases, and energy is so high that they can easily cross through many of the objects. Now it further we can divide the UV rays into UVA, UVB and UVC type of UV rays. And these UV rays are having very high energy, so that they can easily pass through the objects, and that is why they are even causing cancer and other type of damage. And whenever they are falling on any object like plastic, so they spoil the plastic. Even when they fall on the colors, so they change the color. The energy is very high. And what are their range of wavelength is less than 400 nanometer. Then these are high energy radiations which causes severe damage to the living beings, and it is having high frequency, so that is having better penetration power, so they can easily penetrate through. Okay, the infrared radiation is the one which is having higher wavelength than visible light. Okay, and their wavelength is higher than 700 nanometer. It go further high. Okay, and infrared radiation is having heating effect. So any hot object, it may be light, it may be sunlight, it may be any hot object which you might have seen. Okay, even when you rub your palm, this is emitting infrared. Okay, so hotness is only because of infrared radiation. Okay, and all the hot object emit this type of light. Okay, next step, properties of visible light. Now we are concentrating in this chapter only to the visible light. infrared and ultraviolet, since we cannot see them, we require special type of devices to observe them. So that is beyond the syllabus of class 10th, and even in class 12th we are not studying about those, only with definitions we are studying. So यहाँ पे हम बात करते हैं properties of visible light. So what are the properties? First, the reflected of the light, this visible light, whenever it reflects and it enters in our eyes and our eyes guess them, then we are able to see the object, and that is why this helps us to see, and that is why it is called visible light. Okay, the wavelength ranges between 400 to 700 nanometer. These 2 points we already studied. Different wavelength of the lights are having different colors. Okay, and these colors are defined as V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. Now, one thing I will make it clear. Newton has given this 7 colors. According to him, the rainbow is having 7 colors. But I'll tell you one thing, that the colors are infinite. Colors are infinite. You can see on this board only. This is dark orange, light orange, and आते आते बीच में yellow हो रहा है. ठीक है? So from this to this, millions of shades are there in between. If you go to get a blouse for matching blouse for a sari, you see how many colors are there. They are having bit differences. है ना, वो कलर यूँ लेकर के चलता है, एंड whenever you see हाँ सर ये वाला मैच कर रहा है ना. So there are infinite colors. Some says these are 7 colors. Newton ने बोला when we were children, so we used to get 12 colors in a color box. Then it started coming 18 colors, 24 colors. फिर हमने मोबाइल खरीदा 64 colors. फिर और आते 128 colors. अभी तो they don't describe only about the colors because the colors are infinite. Okay, so this one must remember, but these are 7 families rather. Okay, so it is easy to understand when we talk about Vibgyor, but Vibgyor are not all colors. Okay, so yeah, so now the violet color are having wavelength towards 400 nanometer, and the red is having towards 700 nanometer. Any wavelength higher than 700 nanometer is called infrared. Infra means higher than red. Okay, so these are the colors. Okay, light exhibit two nature, that is dual nature. Now it is very important. There are several properties of the light which we can understand by taking or considering light in wave nature. If we consider that the light is in wave form, then we can understand many of the things. Okay, still other things we have to consider, that lights are in the form of packets, in the form of photons. Okay, so देखिए the two natures क्या क्या है. One is the particulate nature, that is when we are to consider lights are available in the particles or in packets, and second when we are to consider that light is available in the form of waves. Several properties, rather most of the properties we can understand taking the light in wave form. But when we are to talk about the energies, when we are to talk about heating effect, when we are to talk about those type of things, we are to consider that light is available in the form of packets or particulate nature. So this dual nature of the light is given, and that is what it is called as the quantum. Okay, so this is called quantum theory. So we can explain some of the properties when we consider light in the form of stream of particles. Others can be understood well when we consider light in the form of waves. Okay, so the dual nature is called quantum theory. Is it clear that light is showing quantum, that is dual nature, and this is called quantum theory. Okay, light always travels in straight light. ये तो आप बचपन से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. Light always travel in straight light. You cannot see that the light is यहाँ से आई, उधर घूम गई, इधर आ गई, बीच में पेड़ आ गया तो that light was coming from there and it jumped over the trees and then came there. You cannot. Whenever we are standing and the light is coming from behind, it casts shadow, and the shadow is exactly according to our shape because the light always travel in straight line. Okay? Then when a ray of light falls on any object, transparent object, three things can happen. If it is falling on the transparent object, three things can happen. First, some portion of the light will be reflected back. Okay, some portion of light will be reflected back into the same medium from the shining object. एक कांच है मान लीजिए, you got a glass of your window glass. So when the light falls, a certain amount of light reflects. You can see somewhere it is this casting reflection. Some light is always absorbed by the glass or any transparent object, and that is why you find that some heating effect is there. And some light will pass through it, and the passing through it is called refraction. So three events are there, that is reflection, absorption and refraction. So out of these three, we are going to study only and only about reflection in this video. Sorry. So in this chapter or in this video, we are going to study only about the reflection. Okay. So like the reflection through plane mirror. Every day we are using mirror, plane mirror, in which we are facing ourselves when we are combing our hair, when we are looking our face or getting dressing up. We are looking in what? We are looking in the plane mirror. टेढ़ा मेढ़ा मिरर में तो कोई देखता नहीं है, नहीं तो somewhere we'll find fat, somewhere we'll find ourselves thin. That comes in the circus and all. That is different. We are how the image is formed in the plane mirror, we are going to study here. Okay, so देखिए, when a ray of light strike on the plane mirror, most of the rays are reflected back in the same medium. Most. Why? Because now it is polished surface. Just थोड़ी देर पहले मैं बता रहा था through the transparent glass. Now we are talking about the opaque glass which is having a reflective surface. Then क्या है? Most of the light will be reflected back. A certain portion of light will be absorbed by it and no light passes through it. Okay, so yeah, so most of the light will be reflected back, and there are two laws of reflection. दो points हैं इसके, क्या क्या है कहते हैं, that is the angle of incidence and the angle of refraction will be exactly same. Angle of reflection and angle of incidence and angle of reflection will always be same, and these two are always lying in same plane, rather three, that is normal also. Okay, so if we see it through a diagram, so you can see that this is the plane mirror. Okay, this is the normal is just perpendicular on the glass. Okay, this is the glass and this is the perpendicular, that is 90 degree. Then this is the incident ray. ये एक रे आई है, जहाँ पे आएगी नॉर्मल के दूसरी साइड में उतना ही एंगल लेके निकल जाएगी. So this is angle I and this is angle R, which are always equal. And the incident ray, normal and the reflected ray, all three lies in the same plane. So two laws again. Law number one, the angle of incidence and angle of reflection both are same. And second law क्या कह रहा है, incident ray, normal and reflected ray, all three lies in the same plane. Okay, so these were the two laws. Okay, very clear, very simple, no problem. ये तो बचपन से देखते आ रहे हैं, इसके लिए हमको किताब पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. But since we do not have thinking capacity, we are depending on the books. Okay, so ये तो हो गया अपने reflection through plane mirror. Okay, so angle I and angle R is just equal, ये हमने पढ़ लिया. Now image formation by plane mirror. Now that was only laws of reflection. अब image कैसे बनती है? Suppose I am standing in front of a mirror. How my image is formed? So what we are going to do is here is देखते हैं, ये plane mirror always form a virtual image. एक बात तो clear है, plane mirror always form a virtual image. Now what is the difference between virtual and real image? Real image is the one which you can take on a screen. If any image is formed on a screen, it is called real image. But if any image is formed behind the mirror or lens, from where the light is coming, in the उसके दूसरी साइड में जाकर के बन रहा है, पीछे की तरफ, behind the mirror, और अगर लेंस है तो उसके सामने की तरफ बन रहा है, सॉरी उसी साइड में बन रहा है, गलत. Okay, image formation by plane mirror. that is how the image is formed in the plane mirror. We are seeing what are the laws of reflection. Now we have to see how the image is formed. So how image is formed is, first, that is the plane mirror always forms a virtual image. Virtual image कौन सा होता है? That is the image which is forming inside the mirror, which we cannot get on a screen. ऐसे इमेज जिसको आप स्क्रीन पे नहीं ले सकते, दैट आर कॉल्ड वर्चुअल इमेज. फॉर द मिरर इट इज ऑलवेज इनसाइड द मिरर. फॉर द lenses it is always back side of the lens from where the object is placed. The object and mirror both are placed, object and image both are coming in the same direction. For a lens, then it is called virtual. Okay, that cannot also be taken on screen. So here the size of the image is equal to the size of object. जितना बड़ा इमेज है उतना ही बड़ा ऑब्जेक्ट होगा, जितना बड़ा ऑब्जेक्ट है उतना ही बड़ा इमेज रहेगा. सो अगर ऑब्जेक्ट की हाइट को h लिखा तो द हाइट ऑफ द image is h dash, which are exactly equal. Third law क्या कह रहा है? The distance between the object and mirror will be equal to distance between image and mirror. आप जितने पास आएंगे मिरर के, the image also comes close. As you go away from the mirror, the image also go behind. And the distance between you and mirror and the distance between image and mirror will always be equal. So if the distance between object and mirror is taken in u, then the distance between image and the mirror will be taken in v, which is in equal but in minus sign. Minus sign means it is in the other direction. Okay, तो दो चीज़ें हो गई. And the image in the plane mirror is always showing lateral inversion. Now what is meant by lateral inversion? So lateral inversion means if you see yourself in a mirror, so when you are keeping your right hand here, तो image के अंदर आपको लगेगा you are keeping left hand here. ठीक है? So your right hand becomes left hand side there. That type of image is called laterally inverted. Okay, lateral मतलब sides. Sides are called lateral. और inverted मतलब घूम जाना. So मेरा right hand side mirror के अंदर left side हो जाएगा. Left hand side will become right hand side. That is called lateral inversion. Let us see how it is formed in a mirror. ठीक है? Suppose this is a mirror. सीधा खड़ा कर दिया हमने mirror. और ये object है F. Okay. So what happens? Ray of light comes from here. The ray of light comes from here. ऐसे यहाँ से जाएगी तो देखिए the ray of light which is coming from here, it will be reflected back. Ray of light coming from other end is also reflected back. Okay, the ray of light comes from here, इतनी दूरी पे इधर जाएगी. ठीक है? And these three wherever they are meeting, there the image is formed. See, all these rays जहाँ पे जाकर मिल रही है वहाँ पे image बन जाएगी. But the image is laterally inverted. Okay, so image is laterally inverted. These rays come from here, incident ray reflects here. This incident ray comes here, reflected back here. This जितना distance यहाँ है, that is u. This is minus v. Again, this is u and this is minus v. And wherever two or more rays are intersecting, an image is formed. So we have taken only 6, but rather 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, but there are infinite rays. यहाँ से भी रे निकल रही है, यहाँ से, यहाँ से, यहाँ से, यहाँ से, यहाँ से, यहाँ से, and there are infinite rays are falling and they are intersecting, and that is how the image is formed. Okay, so lateral inversion is clear to you. Lateral inversion is very important property. ठीक है? So देख लीजिए u is equal to v. Okay, and second h is equal to h dash. Okay, so these are the two properties. Okay, lateral inversion को देखते हैं. Lateral inversion, the mirror image appears in the laterally inverted. ठीक है? Means the left hand side appears in the right hand side, vice versa. Okay, this is the reason that the ambulance is written like this in the front side. Front of a ambulance, the ambulance is written in this way, this order. ठीक है? तो इससे क्या होगा? The one which is driving car or bus or anything in front, when he sees the image of that ambulance, so he can read ambulance in the correct order. ऐसा लिखा रहेगा तो ऐसा दिखेगा मिरर के अंदर, ठीक है।